Good afternoon, COVIDians. Are we still on the brink of nuclear World War III? Has that been running through your mind? Since I made the first of several videos, I've got to admit it has been running through mine. Boomer generation, born in the late 1950s, made it through the Cuban Missile Crisis, made it through the Cold War, made it even through the fall of the Berlin Wall, have two wonderful grown-up sons to my first marriage. So, well, I guess like all of us who've got this far, I made it through that. Yeah. Just a few thoughts really on the, this whole thing that it really might throw the world into global nuclear war. Yeah. Of course that's scary. I would imagine even the Russians are scared of that happening. The Ukrainians know exactly what it means to be invaded by a foreign occupying force. Countries of Europe have been invaded by foreign occupying forces before, including Nazi Germany. They know what it's like. No wonder Poland and everybody are offering help, assistance, weapons. But I just want to stay with this idea for one moment. Yeah, do what I've done if you want. Google, what the nuclear attack warning is going to be, and you'll probably find out you might just get a little bit more warning, because now we can find the missiles earlier because of satellites. We can track them almost from the off, yeah. And of course now you're not going to get the so-called 4-minute warning. It has been suggested, be as long as 14 minutes. Watch your mobile phones, watch your screens and whatever, because as a video I've just watched said, most of the old World War II sirens have been taken down because so many houses now have double glazing. They didn't in the 1950s when I was growing up. Yeah. People wouldn't hear them anyway. Yeah. And if you got your rock music going or whatever, you're probably not even going to notice them. So you probably get a text. Yeah. Can you imagine what it would be like reading that text? You see, the one thing I think people need to understand is that man has always had this potential. Humanity, I'm not being genderist or whatever, but humanity has always had what my father used to describe as the potential to destroy itself. I don't know, perhaps from right back at the beginning when we discovered fire or something, yeah? We've had this capacity for our own destruction. Now that's just, you can't comprehend it, can you? You can't comprehend the scale of a war that would annihilate, finish life on this planet, that the use of these weapons would leave the planet a smoking ruin. Hundreds of years of nuclear winter because of all that fallout and earth and debris that's gone up into the atmosphere, blocks out the sun, and we can't grow crops, we can't do agriculture anymore. Yeah. That's horrific enough. people still so mad? Are they really still so mad? Are the most powerful so-called leaders in the world, and in this I include Boris Johnson, I include Joe Biden, and of course I include President Putin, are they so mad that they would virtually initiate the end of life on this planet by launching those weapons? And you know what frightens me even more? I think there is, besides there's always been a prevailing warmonger ethic in these countries, our own included, there's always been there, yeah. I think the thing that scares me the most is that this idea that, you know, we can just use tiny little small scale nuclear weapons. Yep. I was looking at getting, you know, pay as you go SIM for one of my wife's iPads or, you know, devices and whatever, and you could the least you could top up with data, yeah, on a pay as you go basis was 500 megabytes, and that'd last you for about, you know, 24 hours. Then you could go up to a gigabyte, which would last you for a week. Yeah, but you see that there's this idea now, I think, within military circles, and I'm sure it's popular in all military circles, that you can just dial down the yield of that nuke. Yeah, you know, it's got to be just about the size that we dropped on Hiroshima, just to annihilate that Russian front. Yeah, and take a few cities out and stop Russia going any further forwards. It doesn't need to be that big. You know, it'll just leave a small nuclear footprint. Yeah. Can't they see that the moment this starts, it will escalate, and it will go from kilotons to megatons? You know, megatons, I don't know if there are gigatons or whatever. It'll just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and nobody will be able to turn it off, because all the people who would be able to turn it off will be dead. This sounds dark, and maybe I shouldn't even be feeling it. Yep. But I think there is one thing, might just come across as almost just, somehow just. Don't think for one single moment that the people who actually agreed to the release of these weapons, these heads of state, these presidents, these prime ministers or whatever, don't think for one single moment, yeah, that they are going to be safely sealed up underground forever. Oh, no. Yeah. Those command and control bunkers, where they will be, on all sides, have already been spied out, located by the other sides. And they've got missiles, weapons, warheads that can burrow so deep. Remember bunker busting bombs in Iraq? Do you remember bunker busting bombs? They weren't even thermobaric, you know, but they weren't even neutral. But remember the bunker busters? You do remember the bunker busters, don't you? Well, honestly, wherever these people take shelter, a bunker buster will find them. Used to be in an old slate quarry, yeah, in Corton, but that's all been decommissioned now. Yeah? Wherever they shelter, the bunker busters will find them. Yeah, and in the end, they'll be subject to the same fate as the rest of humanity. They might just live on a bit longer, just a tiny bit longer. Yeah, and kind of who is finally left? Maybe it's a bit like Never Shoots on the beach, where the nuclear submarines are the only ones with crew who've survived living on board. Yeah, and travel to Australia as the fallout follows them. I know it's depressing, but maybe by thinking about it, yeah, we can do something to prevent these weapons ever being used. Best thing we can do to prevent them ever being used, of course, is just internationally get rid of them. Internationally outlaw them. Yeah? Ban them from everywhere. Yeah, let's, if need be, let's go back. I don't want us to go to war, but, if we're going to do so, let's use thermobaric weapons and all that. Well, at least we don't take the whole damn planet with us. Yeah? Bless you all. It's a scary time. Even for an old boomer like me, whose dad, by the way, served in World War II. Bye.